There are moments in history when information drops so heavy, so overwhelming, that it shakes the public to its core. The Epstein case was already one of those moments. But what happened in early 2026 made everything feel even darker. On January 30th, 2026, the Department of Justice released what many called the largest document dump in the history of the Epstein investigation. Nearly 3 million documents. Hundreds of thousands of photos, thousands of videos. The internet exploded overnight. Social media platforms turned into digital courtrooms. Everyone was asking the same questions. Who was involved? Who traveled to the island? Who knew what was happening? But as people started digging into the files, something strange became clear. The names that truly mattered, the powerful ones, were blacked out. Entire sections were redacted. Key identities were missing. That's when things started to feel even more suspicious. 2 members of Congress, one Republican and one Democrat, pushed to see the unredacted versions. After reviewing what they could, one of them reportedly said, "This is bigger than Watergate." That statement alone sent chills down people's spines. Now here's where Joe Rogan enters the story. Joe Rogan is not just a podcaster. He's one of the most influential media figures in the world. He's interviewed presidents, tech billionaires, Hollywood celebrities, scientists, fighters, people from every powerful circle imaginable. So when someone like Rogan speaks about something that scares him, people listen. In February 2026, during a podcast episode with actress Cheryl Hines, who happens to be married to RFK Jr., another name appearing in the Epstein files, Rogan casually dropped something unexpected. "I'm in the files," he said. The internet went into a frenzy. Was Joe Rogan involved? Did he go to the island? But Rogan immediately clarified, "I'm in the files for not going." Back in 2017, one of Rogan's former podcast guests, physicist Lawrence Krauss, had reached out to him. Epstein apparently wanted an introduction. The message was simple. He thought Rogan was interesting and wanted to meet. Rogan did what most people should have done. He Googled the name. And what did he find? A 2008 conviction for soliciting a minor. That was enough. His response, according to him, was blunt and immediate. "Are you high? What are you talking about?" He shut it down instantly, and that decision may have saved him from being dragged into something far darker. But what truly shook Rogan wasn't just the invitation. It was what he discovered years later when he began reading through the newly released documents. Because, according to Rogan, Epstein wasn't the real mastermind. He was a middleman, a connector, a gatekeeper, and possibly a puppet. When Rogan dove deeper into the files, he started seeing patterns, networks of influence, powerful executives, billionaires, CEOs, international figures. Some names were visible, many were not. And the redactions raised even bigger questions. If the government was protecting victims, that made sense. But why protect powerful adults who may have participated? Why erase those identities? Rogan has always loved discussing conspiracy theories, aliens, fun government secrets. Interesting, but this one disturbed him. On his podcast, he described something that genuinely frightened him. The idea that there may be powerful individuals at the highest levels of society who operate without conscience. People who don't value human life. People who might engage in unspeakable acts as a form of loyalty or ritual. Historically, secret societies and corrupt elites have existed. That's not fiction. It's documented history. The frightening question Rogan posed was this: what if it never stopped? What if it simply evolved? Epstein had wealth, private jets, a Caribbean island, mansions in Manhattan, connections to global leaders. In 2008, he received what many described as a sweetheart deal, just 13 months in a low-security facility, with work release privileges. Prosecutors later admitted it was one of the most generous plea deals in modern legal history. Then, in 2019, he was arrested again, this time on federal sex trafficking charges involving dozens of victims. And before trial, he was found dead in his jail cell. Official ruling: suicide. But even now, many forensic experts and investigators question that conclusion. Broken cameras, guards asleep, irregularities everywhere, too many coincidences. So, when millions of documents were finally released in 2026, people hoped for clarity. Instead, they found darkness. Rogan described the feeling as realizing that some of your worst suspicions might not be paranoia, they might be reality. Like walking into a small-town bar in a movie where everyone goes silent when you enter. You tell yourself you're imagining it. You convince yourself you're paranoid, but later, you discover you weren't wrong. And that's the part that scared him most. Because if Epstein wasn't the top, then who was? And why are those names still hidden? Stay with me, because the next part of this story shifts from government secrets to Hollywood power, and one of the most protected media icons in modern history. For decades, Oprah Winfrey has been untouchable. Media royalty, philanthropist, billionaire, cultural icon too. Many she represents empowerment and generosity. But over the years, certain controversies have quietly lingered beneath the surface, often brushed aside, minimized, or forgotten. Her connections to powerful men like Harvey Weinstein raised eyebrows. Photos and associations with Jeffrey Epstein sparked curiosity. But mainstream narratives rarely lingered on those ties. Then there's the South African Leadership Academy for Girls, Oprah's ambitious and widely praised project, meant to educate underprivileged young women. When the school first launched, the media celebrated it as a humanitarian masterpiece. Headlines painted Oprah as a savior figure investing millions into the future of African girls. But not long after opening, serious allegations emerged. In 2007, a dormitory matron was accused of sexual abuse and physical assault involving multiple students. 14 charges were filed. Oprah publicly expressed devastation. She traveled to South Africa personally. The accused staff member was removed, but the scandal left a stain. In later years, rumors began circulating online, allegations that girls had gone missing from the school. These claims were never officially confirmed by authorities or supported by mainstream reporting. However, social media amplified them repeatedly. And once whispers start on the internet, they rarely disappear around the same time. Rapper 50 Cent continued his long-running public feud with Oprah. Their tension dates back to the early 2000s when 50 sought an interview on her show. At the time, Oprah declined. She reportedly disapproved of his music and image. 50 Cent took it personally. He publicly criticized her, mocked her audience, even named a dog after her. Their rivalry became part of pop culture drama. Eventually, in 2012, Oprah did interview him. Some insiders claimed it wasn't a change of heart but external pressure due to his growing influence. But 50 never backed down when comedian Dave Chappelle walked away from a $50 million deal with Comedy Central. Oprah interviewed him. Some critics felt she pushed him aggressively, implying instability. Chappelle later explained that he felt intense pressure in the industry, describing a salt trap analogy, comparing fame to a lure that traps artists who don't let go. Actress Monique also publicly accused Oprah and Tyler Perry of blackballing her after she refused unpaid promotional work for a film. 50 Cent was one of the few major celebrities who openly supported Monique. The pattern some critics point to is selective accountability. Why were certain figures exposed while others seemed shielded? Why did some powerful individuals face intense scrutiny while others remained largely protected? Regarding the school, additional incidents surfaced over time, including reports of a student concealing a pregnancy. Though unrelated to criminal wrongdoing by leadership, it fueled online speculation. And speculation grows easily when powerful names are connected to larger scandals. It's important to state clearly: Many of the most extreme claims regarding Oprah's school remain unproven and unverified. Social media rumors are not evidence. However, public trust erodes when transparency feels incomplete. Meanwhile, flight logs showed Oprah's plane reportedly traveled near or around Epstein-linked locations multiple times. Context matters. Wealthy individuals often travel within overlapping social circles, but public perception is shaped by headlines, not nuance. In today's climate where celebrities and elites are being exposed left and right, people are re-examining everything. Joe Rogan's fear wasn't about one individual, it was about systems. Networks. Protection, power shielding power. When information is partially released, but crucial names remain hidden, it creates a vacuum. And in that vacuum, speculation thrives. Are there elite circles operating above accountability? Was Epstein simply the fall guy? Why were certain names redacted? Why did some figures escape scrutiny entirely? These are the questions that continue to circulate online. In the end, this story isn't about aliens, entertainment gossip, or viral rumors. It's about transparency. It's about whether powerful individuals face the same accountability